Welcome to Pull Your Head Out of Your Ass, Canada. Today, I want to talk a little bit about this Kinder Morgan thing. Of course, if anybody's been watching the news, a judge has kicked out 6 of the 12 appeals, or whatever you want to call it. The environmentalists and the Indigenous people, they're allowed to push ahead with 6 more challenges against that line. And it's a situation that some of these people got to understand that it is so bad for our country not to have that line. I mean, that's just one of a few, right? These special interest groups that are funding these environmentalist groups and Indigenous people, I mean, where are they getting the money to hire all these lawyers to continually fight this? I mean, I'd like to know how much they've spent so far, and I would like to know where they're getting their dollars and cents from. Like, I mean, Green Party maybe loan them some dollars, or the special interest groups. Because I mean, you got to look at it, people, that the pipelines that are being built today are way more advanced technologically and preparedness as far as the outer coatings and stuff like that. The pipelines are top notch. I mean, best in the world as far as I'm concerned. And all these people bitching about these lines. How about put your efforts into working with the oil companies, the governments, and that? How about put some efforts into looking at what other safety aspects? Like more ESDs closer together. What type of surveillance on the pipelines, pressure controls. There's a lot of technology out there that can make these lines very, very safe. I'm just so frustrated listening to all these arguments. The Trans Mountain Line there in British Columbia has been there for ages. Tankers are going in and out of there with very or none as far as hazards or environmental impacts and all that. As far as it comes to Indigenous people, I mean, they're getting paid for those lines to go across their line, like any landowner does. But besides that, I mean, to me, there's an opportunity here for the Indigenous people in that to have get jobs, pipeline surveillance, having crews trained like, say, if there was a spill in where they load the tankers and that, like first responders with, boats and booms and skimmers and stuff like that, they're trained. There could be, full-time employment for a number of people. And to me, the Indigenous should get the people should get first shot at that, and develop a contract with the government and the oil companies and that to be the first responders in a case like that. But in my mind, the way technology is and the safety aspects, I mean, Canada's got some of the best technology in the world. I mean, as far as pipelines and that, I mean, I've heard horror stories, like in the United States, Russia, China, like, I mean, there's some pretty scary things going on in those countries, but here nor there. Canada is very good at what we do. Our oil industry is very advanced, and let's use that technology, put in these pipelines there that are 10 times, 100 times safer than trucking it or rail carring it. I mean, it seems like we have trains derailing monthly almost. We just had another one the other day in southern Alberta. Rail cars are not the answer to shipping oil. And these pipelines, moving this oil and that, like I say, they're some of the most advanced stuff going. So back to these special interest people, where they're getting their money from. Because look at it, people. The United States don't want us to become self-sufficient because they're getting a hell of a deal on our oil. And then, for as far as I can figure out, with those lines going back into Ontario and up the East Coast, they're selling oil back to us at a higher price, which is criminal. It's criminal. We gotta stop this. I mean, let's get an energy corridor in, like Chandra Shear was talking about, and so that's the corridor that these lines have got to follow. Put the environmental impacts and all that in there, but the technology is there, people, to make these a very, very safe way of moving our product. We got to make Canada first. We have to use our own product instead of bringing it in. Because really, people, they're bitching about the tankers coming into the West Coast, but you don't hear the people down east bitching about the tankers coming in down there, like Quebec and New Brunswick and Nova Scotia and all them. Like, so what's the difference here? Like, it's not making any sense that one side of the country don't give a shit how many tankers come in, and then on the other flip side over in BC, because all the tree huggers and the Green Party, Elizabeth May, that stupid bitch, but that she is one hypocritical bitch as far as I'm concerned. Then you figure the Green Party is going to do us any good? No, look at the NDG party in British Columbia. Now, I took the P off the NDP because it's the G. In BC, they've kind of got John Hogarth by the short hairs there because without their votes, they're out. And if anybody looks at the records, the NDP, what is it doing for that province right now? Absolutely nothing. Their economy's going down the shitter. Yeah, okay. So rely on your tourism, I guess. But let's think about all of Canada. These pipelines have got to go in. These challenges. Can someone please? I would like to know where they're getting their money from, who's supporting, who these special interest groups are, and the real reason why they're disturbing, making so much noise over these pipelines. It's wrong. In my mind, it's wrong. If these people are from out of Canada, the States, Sierra Club, wherever, Warren Buffett, I don't care who it is, wherever they're getting their funding from, it's got to be costing thousands and thousands of dollars to have these lawyers in front of a judge and that. And then in the court there the other day, the federal government they weren't even represented. They didn't even show up to argue anything or nothing. They just, it's just another challenge, whatever. But it would have showed some goddamn interest on the government's point to have some federal representation there to argue some of these points, and maybe some of these challenges would have been done with. But again, Trudeau don't give a shit about the West. They'll just keep sucking us dry, up in taxes, people losing businesses. Yeah, good job, Justin Trudeau, you piece of shit. So, anyways, if anybody has information out there, or how these environmental groups and where this money is coming from for them and the Indigenous people to continue fighting and putting these challenges for, because it's got to be costing thousands of dollars. Because, hey, everybody knows lawyers aren't cheap, right? Absolutely. So, anyways, people, if you like it, hit the like button, share it, check out our Facebook page. Let us know what you think. Let's get some comments. You want something discussed or brought up on one of my blogs? Get it to us. Get it out there. Again, emails. Stay on top of your MLAs and all the rest of it, and let's cause some noise. Right on. Okay, Canada. Signing out. Drill bit. Talk to you later.
Ah!